Let's zone in on another company. Telkom says it will win the war for fibre. The company that used to hold a virtual monopoly over fixed lines has been struggling to become more agile for a world where mobile and data services dominate. It now says a 3-year turnaround program that resulted in thousands of retrenchments is over and it's ready for growth. Shareholders are very happy with Telkom's results for the year that ended in March and a higher dividend today. The share price was up more than 8% earlier. I spoke to Telkom CEO Sipho Maseko.
There's renewed confidence. I think people want certainty and clarity. I think that's what people want. I think there was never any doubt in understanding the difficult circumstances that we found ourselves in. There was never any doubt in terms of what it is that needed to be done. It was important for us to communicate very clearly and be very authentic and be very honest with people in terms of what it is that is required. And I think that in itself helped us generate sufficient goodwill amongst the members of our staff. And I think now that we've completed that part of the journey and we're starting a new journey, we've also gone back to them and said it will now start to feel a lot more better. However, there's things that you will need to do in order to make sure that the customers remain at the center of what we do. And we've been working quite hard to make sure that we can underpin some of the changes, especially in culture and behavior, that we need to have, but also move to empower a lot of our employees more than we may have done in the past. So if there's a query at the store, that query should not be referred back to head office. So empower the manager there to be able to deal with the customer issue, but which means upgrading the systems, making sure that it's easier for our staff, especially in the front line, to identify problems and be able to solve them.
Right. Yeah. Let's look at the big context that you're working in now. The question has always been, can Telkom adjust in line with the world, basically? Yeah. Fixed lines are being dumped. Did this even surprise you, more than 6% over 1 year?
Well,
is the pace surprising to you?
Well, actually, I mean, so it does and it doesn't. Quite a number of the lines that actually have been discontinued are payphones. So people don't use payphones anymore, so we would have payphones in that number, and what we called prepaid. But also more and more, you won't see lines in our financials because we'll be bundling line and the services that we offer. So in future, you won't be seeing a line rental, but actually you'll be buying a wholesome service. So
you're saying you're keeping some of those customers?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So the customers remain. It's just that the way in which we are reporting the number is still a legacy of our past. But the numbers that are certainly going down is payphones, so we're discontinuing that because, you know, mobile penetration is a lot more deep, and people are buying a lot more of data and what we call bundled services. They come to us, they pay us 500 Rand, call it whatever you want, call it line rental. So we don't call it line rental anymore. We say for 500 bucks you'll get 10 gigs of data a month, and that's it. And the cost of the line rental is in that bundle, so you no longer have to see that. I mean, my view around fixed, actually, I think the future belongs to fixed. I think you'll see a lot more data penetration. You may not see it in the number of lines that we would have been reporting in the past, but we look at data traffic growth. Just seeing how all of that is growing is phenomenal. And therefore, we will be designing our products and services around what people are actually using, rather than referring to lines as we may have done in the past.
Well, you've said that a priority is fibre to the home. And Telkom and a lot of the big players were criticised for being behind the curve. A lot of small companies came in and sewed up suburbs. Do you feel like you're a contender in that fibre race right now?
Well, I mean, Telkom will win the fibre war. So South Africa at the moment...
You're confident?
I'm very confident. I'm absolutely confident we'll win the fibre war. I mean, just to give you some stats. So South Africa today has about 180,000 kilometers of fibre. 160,000 of that fibre belongs to Telkom. Right? So already we have quite a lot of fibre. We're getting now into quite a lot of residential areas and businesses. I think that we have quite a lot of existing infrastructure, so we don't have to dig up the roads anymore. So where the copper used to run, we'll just pull out the copper and stick in the fiber. So I'm very confident that Telkom will win that war. But also more players in the market is good. It's good for Telkom. You know, I don't mind competition. Actually, I embrace competition because competition makes us better. We learn, we see what people are doing, and therefore it makes us to be better to serve our customers than we may have done before. Once you are the only player, complacency creeps in and you think you have it all stitched up, and then you realize that actually you don't have it all stitched up. So for us as well, we welcome the new players that are there. They help us become better. We learn from them. And not only is it fiber to the home, but also fiber to the cabinet. So we've already passed 1.4 million homes. So in all of those areas, those people can have up to 40 megabits per second. So you can stream a lot more easier. You can play games. And I think we have a lot of momentum. Yeah.
Just explain that 1.4 million.
So the 1.4 million, so there's two types of access technology. So it's ADSL, which is all copper. It is what is called VDSL, so it's fiber to the cabinet, so the little blue box that you see at the corner. So we'll run the fiber up to that box, and then the last mile will be copper. And then we have fiber to the home, so which means all the way into your house, it's fiber, and then we'll have LTE. So this fiber to the cabinet, already we've passed more than 1.4 million homes. And fiber to the home, we've probably passed now more than 100,000 homes. So the growth of broadband in South Africa is inevitable. And I think broadband will change South Africa.
Final question, because we're running out of time.
Yeah.
Mobile, I understand you're breaking even, so that must feel good, but an analyst did point out a lot of churn and prepaid. People start with Telkom and then they drop Telkom. Is that worrying? How are you seeing the mobile business?
Yeah, so I'm very happy with the mobile business as a start. I think the business has grown tremendously. 60% revenue growth in data, which is unparalleled actually. Prepaid churn, if you look at our churn rates and you benchmark that relative to competitors, we are no worse actually. It is in the nature of that segment of the market. People get a SIM card, they spend 10 Rand, 20 Rand, there's a new offer in town, they move to another SIM card, so there's quite a lot of nomadic behavior in that. But overall, I'm very happy about our mobile business. It is now at cash break even, it's now contributing cash, it's no longer a strain to our balance sheet, and I think it's a good platform for us to be able to offer a lot more services going forward.